We're live. That's Steve Barry. That's related to this. But did you get this? Oh, we're live.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Folks, we are the House Energy and Digital Infrastructure Committee. It is Thursday, February 26th. We're here to talk about the Joint Carbon Emissions Reduction Committee. I'm Kathleen James from Manchester.
Scott Campbell from St. John's Mary.
Richard Bailey, 102.
Chris Morrow, Wyndham, Windsor, Bennington. Michael Southwick, Illinois 2. Christopher Howland, Robin 4.
Darren Corey, Washington 2.
Graham Kleffner, Chittenden 13, Burlington.
All right.
Dana Lee Perry, Finnecrasson Group.
Great. All right. So we're just going to have a committee conversation about the Joint Carbon Emissions Reduction Committee, which we've been talking about as a possible venue, really, I guess, to get some work done over the summer and fall. Venue, vehicle, receptacle. So it might be helpful. I'm sorry that I didn't print this out, but if folks want to pull up the statute, it is 2 VSA Chapter 17. So do folks know how to get there on the General Assembly website?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What was the subsection again?
It is 2 VSA 17. And it's very short. So I can just maybe just take some notes as we talk. So I know I've told folks this, but I had been checking in with the speaker basically to make sure it was okay with the speaker as I guess she's the appointer. If she saw any problem with us amending this statute, I guess we don't need her permission, but I thought it would be good form to not start tinkering with the enabling or creation statutes of legislative committees without talking to the speaker. So she's aware that we're doing this, and there are a couple things that we can do. So the first thing we can do is I am under creation of committee. So 601 creation of committee, and we can tinker with this. So so to give a high level, we talked about this in passing, but we can change the statute that creates the committee and gives the committee its duties. And that should be like a short bill that we'd send over to the Senate for consideration. And what I think I've heard from Ledge Council and from the speaker is that the best path for us would be to try to amend, if we want to amend this language at all. So that's our first decision. Do we want to change this statute? Do we want to change who's on the committee, how they operate, and how many times they meet? If we do, we need to change this statute, and it would be useful for us to try to stay high level and change it in a more enduring way so that every year it doesn't become obsoleted or outdated. So that's kind of high level. Here's what we think this committee should be. Then, in terms of our recommendation about what we think the committee should do, what we'd like to see them do this summer and fall, we can either do session law, which means we need to take testimony, hash all that out, have it drafted, write a thing, pass it, and bring it to the floor as part of this bill before crossover, which I'm full transparency, I'm a little worried about. Or we could write a committee memo that we could take testimony on and really think about after crossover and deliver it to the speaker and the pro tem as an official recommendation from the standing policy committee. And we can work with other committees on it or not. So that's another decision decision point.
Will the memo hold as much weight as,
No,
so is it something that can be just ignored?
I don't think it could be easily ignored.
Okay.
I asked the speaker that. Session law would have more weight. It would move along with our bill. It would go over to the Senate and the Senate would do whatever they're gonna do to it. So I see both sides. So the Senate could totally change what we think the committee should do. And then it would come back to us and, you know, or this bill could like die in the Senate. I don't think it's going to, but you truly never know what's going to happen. And so session law would probably carry more weight if we have time to do something really thoughtful that we're all on board with before crossover. And then we just have to realize that it could slow down or bog down the bill in the Senate, or they could totally change that part of it. Or we could take more time with it. Take more testimony, because I'm imagining that after crossover, we don't have that many bills coming to us. In fact, right now we have one. So I'm imagining that after crossover, there's a lot of kind of foundational and then ground up testimony I want to take on nukes. I am not done talking about solar siting. You know, where do we put? So we could take a bunch of testimony and then have sort of an informed letter that nobody has a chance to tinker with, because it's our letter that we deliver to the speaker and pro tem. So I'm a little, as you can tell, I'm up in the air. I've been like thinking about the pros and cons. Yeah.
If we were to change some wording in the current statute, does the speaker have to be directed somehow to appoint members to that committee? Or
No, in fact, she's already on it.
so if she appoints the members, I guess what level do we have to do to have that committee convene? And that's done in this, correct?
Yeah, that would be more. That would also be session law or a letter. Because I don't think we can put in this, well. So shall be appointed. Shall elect. We could say, I'm still on that creation thing. So, and to be clear, the speaker's not opposed to any of this. In fact, the most recent thing I heard from her was, should I go ahead and appoint members? Or do you want me to wait? And I said, I think we might be changing the statute. So we see where it says the committee may meet up to 5 times during adjournment.
Mhm.
I wonder if, well, I don't see why we couldn't say the committee shall meet up to 5 times during adjournment, and then we've removed any optionality there. I don't know how that compares to like how JITAC is set up.
And shall meet up to 5 times still means they could meet 0 times.
Oh.
Shall meet a minimum of 5 times.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want me to start? Okay. So do we agree that we want to amend the statute to kind of tweak the committee?
I'm in favor.
I do.
Good.
Okay.
Can we just take half a step back?
Yeah.
Remind me where we landed on what we are hoping this committee will accomplish.
We don't know. So that's why I'm leaning toward recommending that we tweak the statute to just say, this is what this committee is. And then either hurry for crossover, try to have a really thoughtful conversation about what we want them to do and add that to this, but it would be a different section of the bill that it would be session law pertaining only to the summer and fall. I think that's a bit of a push in terms of deciding what we want them to do, but I could be wrong. Or we just passed the statute that says this is what this committee is. And we do things like shall meet a minimum of 5 times. How many members do we want on there? We do the real high level stuff. We pass that out, send it over to the Senate. And then in the meantime, we have time in the second half of the session to take like extensive testimony on what we think is next. And then we write a letter, non-binding.
Sounds like it's most likely way to get this done.
The path of least resistance.
Right, it's just that we only have 5 days.
Right.
Well, I mean,
And we have all these
kind of
other
4
bills.
days, yeah, with all the other.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the time to do something thoughtful. I mean, I don't know. I think there are a lot of different ideas about what we want the committee to work on. I feel like we've got broad topics that we all agree on. Like, I think we can all agree the future of nuclear power.
And biomass.
Well, see that, yeah, and solar.
Absolutely.
And then instantly we're at, oh my God, is that too much for 6 meetings? So I would prefer that we take our time with it, but I'm open to suggestions. I don't think we have time before crossover to write a good letter.
I just think we should take the stipulation that someone from a probe should be on it off of there. Like
Well-
this composition of the committee.
I
is
totally agree.
strange. Like,
Yeah.
it's the carbon reduction committee. Why do we have?
Well, I am printing out the statute right now to take notes. So let's do that. I was going to actually suggest that we take approps off too. Just the testimony we heard from Ellen was that approps was put on there because at the time we were parceling out the VW settlement money. So somebody from approps should have been and was on there. But I don't think we need approps on there anymore. I also think 10 people is too many.
And maybe someone from Hedi.
Yeah, and we need to get us on it.
Rich wants to get on there.
So,
Hi, I was just drop these off to you. Okay.
so why don't we, Alex, do you have just I should have asked the page, just a hot minute to go grab this off the printer for me so I can take notes. Sorry, and I'm waiting,
And I think I printed a copy too. Please.
trying to find those.
So you don't think we can just work within the confines of the way it is rather than massaging it?
I don't think so. Like, we're not on there.
Well, that's true too.
And it's this actually should be ha. This actually should be easy. This should not be a hard bill for us to
Right.
pass.
Right.
Straight to the UC do it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Workshop.
More, yeah, at least 2. Workshops, please. Make sure you sign me to them.
Yes. Because you're,
That good?
all right, so all right, let's start talking. When Alex comes back, I will start taking notes. So let's start with the creation of committee. So shall be appointed each biennial. That's good. Okay, so 5 reps. Let's have the 5 versus 4. Let's have the 8 versus 10 conversation.
Okay.
Thank you. I think I printed it multiple times. Thank you.
Yeah, Representative Campbell, they're ready for you whenever.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, Scott, we're moving on. We're going to pass book this out today, so we'll see you later.
Just don't put me on
All right, shall be appointed. Okay, so if we think 10 is too many, which,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you printed, because it was two different documents, so
Oh, what?
Ah.
Oh.
yeah, sorry about that.
No,
Sorry, another mission.
I wasn't sure if you guys printed the same
Moving on.
thing or.
I did not. Oh, I printed it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I know I did. So, all right. So how do people feel about cutting it down to 4 from the House, 4 from the Senate?
I think it would create less confusion for the committee to have 8 instead of 10.
I
Yeah.
totally agree. All right. So we're going to say,
Yeah.
so we're going to say 4. All right.
And it's just a notion that we're not gonna define these 4 roles, like one from this committee and one from that committee.
Well, no, I was thinking we would stick with the committee thing.
Okay, which is fine, it just, let's do that and then see how many there are.
Okay. All right. So let's take off approps. Since there was a reason for that in time. And then we add Hedi. And then that would leave us with commerce, environment, transportation, and us. Which,
Commerce and economic development, I would say, need to be in there.
yeah, they're in there.
Yeah.
I agree.
Environment,
Yep. Transportation for sure. And us. To me, that's good.
Yep.
Okay, now we get to have fun on the Senate side. 4, we can cut that down to 4. And same, I guess, just take off. Now, this is interesting on the Senate side. So we're going to take off approps. Senate's harder. Somebody pull up the Senate committees. We need transportation, right? These. Senate. Ah. All right,
So economic development,
okay,
housing and general affairs, we probably want.
I don't think we want housing.
Well, it's all one deal there.
Oh, I see, so it's economic development,
Housing
housing.
and general affairs,
Oh, geez, okay,
natural resources and energy,
okay, for sure, all right,
transportation,
yes.
and
what about GovOps?
Should we leave that? Well, then we have to put it in on our side.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Companion on the side.
I was trying to look for parallels.
There are no parallels between the house and the Senate.
Yeah.
What about the ag, just in terms of carbon sequestration?
We have to do it on both sides of. But we have to have counterpart committees or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we could do fewer. It's
I have a question.
so easy on the House side. Yeah,
Does this need to be a joint committee? Can we just create a house committee?
I think it needs to be a joint committee. Good power play, but I think
No, I'm not trying to simplify. I mean, they might not even want to be part of this, you know, like.
well, all right.
But it's not, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. It was just a thought.
I mean, I think they might not appreciate us taking a joint committee and rewriting it to cut them out of the loop.
Even though no one even knows this thing exists.
We know it exists.
Well, they could take 4 members from those committees,
From,
Yeah.
from the 3 committees.
yeah, they can. So we're thinking, yeah, we're taking off appropriates and finance, I
Right.
think is what we're
Right.
doing.
Yeah,
And we'll say they get 4 members. And we're suggesting they do economic development, transportation, and SNR. Okay.
Should they get an at-large one instead of having to be on those committees?
Yeah, they would get like an at-large one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what you guys were thinking, right? Okay, I mean, we could even take off economic development and just make sure that they do transportation and SNR and then let them pick. Economic development, commerce, community development, tourism and marketing, arts, film, labor, housing, liquor and tobacco control. I don't know.
That's important.
What do you guys think? Do you want to leave economic development on there? And okay, and then they'll have an at-large member. Okay. Then chair, vice chair, rotating, may meet during the session at the call of the chair. That's standard language. And then what did we say? Shall meet? At least, what did you say, Mike?
Shall meet at least 5 times during a journey.
Okay, at least. Okay, 5 times during adjournment.
and do we wanna, I mean, here it has 5 as the cap. Do we wanna put a cap as well? At least 5, but no more than 7 or exactly 5 or?
I think. I'm not sure we need to get. You've been on Jai Talk.
But if we
Some-
limit them to 5 and they need another meeting to finish something up, I hate to hamstring them on that.
Yeah, I want to make sure they meet at least 5 times, but I don't necessarily want to say you can't meet more than, what if they're not done?
Okay,
Shall meet at a minimum of 5 times.
yeah.
yeah, minimum. Okay, yeah, that's better than at least.
Are we allowed to change the name of this thing?
I don't know.
It's not really quite accurate anymore, right?
Right,
But if the money might be,
Tied to that,
you know,
yeah,
oh, you're right. Maybe we better not mess around with it.
yeah. and
Morse,
Morse, yeah,
it's in there under that.
okay, okay. All right, and then we have Ledge Council and Ledge Ops providing assistance, which is as per usual. And then the members get their per diem, and we already talked about how they have the money. So is that okay with everybody? I can. Okay, and then on the duties. Shall provide oversight when the General Assembly is not in session. And I know that's important. We can't give them, I mean, they don't, in other words, this is not a committee that's going to be, voting, passing bills. It's an oversight committee. I mean, I think we could change the duties. I don't have any brilliant. I'm not sure it's necessary to change it. But I'm also not sure this is quite reflective of, looks like this was changed in 2019. Last,
Which is the last time that they met, correct?
2021, I think they had.
Yeah, the 21.
You just say it's something about concerning and affecting the future of energy development in Vermont or something, broad and generic.
What did you suggest?
They have concerning activities concerning and affecting the future of energy production in Vermont. Energy development, something like that.
Is it just development though? Because that sounds like it's only in state.
We could just leave out that word and just say the future of energy in Vermont. That could be. Might as well leave it broad. So be perfect.
All right. I mean, somebody will let us know if that's too broad. Okay. Well, that was easy. Let's vote. Okay, Greg is here. I'll have Ellen draft that and have everybody be thinking about whether we would have time. We can proceed on parallel paths. We could try to get our arms around a session law thing that would give them a task and fit it in whenever we have time. And if we run out of time, we just vote this out. Okay. Okay. All right, Greg.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, thanks for coming over and thanks for sitting patiently through our
For
side project.
the record, I'm Greg Faber with PUC. I'm here to testify on, well, still really doesn't have a number, 26-0781, the committee bill.
Yes, let me get my draft out.
And it's only section 1.
Only section 1. Okay.
So this should be fairly short. So this section has to do with BED and their energy efficiency activities, right? This one section. So right now, we just want to make you aware that we have an open investigation into exactly this kind of thing, basically the energy efficiency in tier 3 programs. So we're doing that right now. And BED has specifically raised these issues in this bill in that proceeding. So they're coming over here and asking you to basically make sure these issues go their way, the ones they've raised in our proceeding. So typically the legislature doesn't reach into an open proceeding like this. So I just want to make you aware that we do have this active proceeding. BED is making these arguments in that proceeding, and yet they've come over here to sort of get you guys to go along with what they want in that proceeding. Just so everyone's aware of that.
That is interesting new information. Rep. Southworth?
When was the proceeding open?
That I don't know. It's case number 25-1094-INB.
Ah,
I could send that over to you folks later.
Yeah.
I'm not personally involved in the case. So I don't know when it opened, but we do have that open right now. And I'll make sure to send that over
so
with written stuff I'm going to send to.
thank you. We hear, and I'm not trying to be a bulldog about that. We hear so much testimony from you guys and from DPS on so many different bills that written testimony helps me profoundly when I'm trying to go back and look at a bill.
Well, we have some proposed language changes too, which we'll send over like a strikeout version of the actual language. So Ellen can see it and you folks can see it as well.
Okay. But but just to back up,
Mhm.
to even more. So that, I think that's new information to everybody on the committee. It's new to me. And,
Yeah.
we were not having you guys in to testify was just, I guess, an oversight on my part, or
I heard you.
I
testify.
thought, I guess I just always assume you guys know what we're up to, and usually
Well,
we're
I was
proactively
assuming-
inviting you, but
Yeah, I was assuming you guys were going to ask us, but then I heard you're going to vote on it tomorrow. So hence the email to ask you for the opportunity to testify, because I was pretty sure you guys didn't know about this.
right.
And I was talking to the department and they didn't say anything apparently either.
Well, I get
So
That's, I guess, what I'm curious about, because the department has been actively involved.
I know. I thought they would have raised this. They did not.
And I know that you guys are different from the department, but I do make sometimes an assumption that,
they're involved in that case,
okay,
of course. Yeah. And so I don't know why I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for us. I don't know. I talked to TJ about it. He wasn't really involved in that decision. But
Okay, so I see you have a question and then I'll come back to I always have to go back to where I want. Go.
Is this case related to the BED audit that the state performed August, end of August?
no, this is a broader investigation into tier 3 compliance and issues like this.
So I wanted to back up to the very beginning. So it's an open investigation and remind me about, or an open investigation you called it, or was it?
That's right. It's an investigation.
So remind me of how those work.
We're looking at energy efficiency, improving energy efficiency programs in tier 3 compliance. So it's a broad investigation. It involves more than BED, of course. It involves EVT as well. And all the other, Vermont Gas as an EU as well.
So it's about all three.
Yeah. It's not just BED.
So all three.
And it's
It's
tier 3
utilities.
compliance in general. So it's involving all those stakeholders who are involved in that. But again, I'm not personally doing that investigation, so not much more I can tell you.
And
on
what,
that.
and you're gonna see, so.
I'm going to send the case number over to you folks so you can look
Okay.
at it.
Because I'm curious to know when that case was opened and how long do those cases, are those public?
Yeah.
How do the cases work? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like anything, right? When people are filing.
I can
State
tell by
records.
this number that it's a pretty early, it looks like it's early in 25, but I'll
Can you
take a
tell me
look
that
at it.
number again? I'm sorry.
He's gonna
It's
say-
25-1094. So the first case in the year 25 will be 25-0001. You know what I mean? So this is somewhat, I don't know, a few months ago at least. So I'll send it over.
Okay, yeah, Mark.
Is this case brought up because there was an issue somewhere, or was this just because you routinely evaluate parts?
I don't know. It might have been a legislative request that we do this. Frankly, I don't really know.
That could be anything.
Could be. I don't.
I'm sorry, if it turns out to be a legislative request, I will be,
I think we should
We do a lot of that.
ask them to do a second workshop on this topic.
I do too.
Yes, you could. You could do that.
Okay.
Look at the case first, though.
No, we won't. Okay,
Okay, so
I have a question.
yeah,
yeah.
Reps appeals.
So, Greg, do you have a sense of the timing of that case? I know they
I
come to
don't.
their own natural.
I don't.
conclusions, But
again, this is, we were just thinking about this today. We should have been thinking about it all along, but we just sort of zeroed in on this language today. And so I don't really know all those answers, but I can get, and I'll send you the case.
so I don't know that this is the case. I'm not looking at the language. I'm completely speculating right now. Do we think that BED is concerned that there's going to be a lapse in timing between what they're doing and the
I can't speculate.
and then let me ask you another question, which I don't know the answer to, which is what if we were to extend till such time as, is that ever a thing?
Well, I have some language I was going to suggest.
Okay.
Let me
Might
just
help.
sip it.
I mean,
Do
I just
you
wanna make-
ever?
I just want to make everyone aware.
Stay down.
I just wanted to make people generally aware that this is an open case, and when people come over here, they're not under oath and that they're saying things, and who knows? So if you go to the bill, and again, this is section 1A, and I'm looking at line 19 on page 1 of this bill, where it says the portion that says the PUC shall authorize an entity. That's the troubling part. That's the part where it says we have to do it. Okay. So if you were to cross out that sentence or that phrase, phrase fragment, the PUC shall authorize an entity, or just the PUC shall authorize. If you take those 4 words out, then it allows us to do our normal review, which is under C
Oh,
on page 3.
Right.
But if you say we shall do it, and then it says we shall review it under 3, under C, it makes that review meaningless, you know what I mean? Because you're already saying we have to authorize it. And then under C, you're saying we shall, the entity shall seek approval. It's already approved.
So it lets them do it. It just doesn't require you to give your stamp. of
Well, it does,
approval.
it's even worse, because
Yeah.
it authorizes them to do it, but then we still have to do a rubber stamp process. So what's the point? But it's yeah. So that's pretty much it.
That's easy.
And the reason we may not want to allow them to do this is because, so you have 2 EEUs operating in Burlington. You have BGS, Vermont Gas.
Yep.
They're an EEU. They offer weatherization projects
Yep.
And you have BED. They do the same. You don't want, this would essentially authorize BED to offer weatherization funds to VGS customers, who VGS is trying to offer weatherization funds to. So you have this duplication and sort of a competition between the 2 EEUs.
Well, that is something that we discussed and took testimony on, and VGS has provided written testimony saying that they're not concerned about that. So
I'm sure they are not concerned about it. You might want to be concerned about it.
Well, I'm just telling you that
Yeah.
it's that was not, I don't think that was a blind spot for us. We, took testimony on that from BED, and the department went off and worked with BED and came back with this language.
Did you
which
talk
is-
to VGS?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh,
So VGS submitted written testimony twice now,
all right.
saying that this is not a concern for them and they're okay with it. So we didn't have Neil come in, but we did want to make sure he weighed in.
The date filed was June 4th of 2025.
2025.
And I sent you a link to,
Oh, thanks. That's a lengthy ongoing thing.
9 months ago.
But anyway, yeah, you can, it's on our website, Greg, the
I mean,
testimony from Vermont Gas.
yeah, that's fine. We still have concerns about that. The duplication of costs
Mm-hmm,
for ratepayers, because we're concerned about ratepayers.
mm-hmm.
BGS may not be concerned. Doesn't mean we aren't. Doesn't mean you folks shouldn't be. So, again, I just want to make you aware of that. This language was in S65 last year. That was the big EEU bill that never went anywhere.
Yep.
This was pulled out of S65 and brought back. So that's, I mean, the other way to do it is to say, yeah, that we totally want to authorize them to do this stuff, but then get rid of C at least. So we don't do the rubber stamp approval process.
And I'm not looking at. Sorry, what's C?
C on page 3 of section 1. It requires the entity to seek approval from us
Yep.
of the things that are already authorized to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a meaningless process at that point if it is authorized already.
So you're suggesting, but C remains if we just strike out PUC shall authorize?
Yeah.
Then C stays?
Yep.
Okay,
And then that section reads, notwithstanding the given law or order, use of the PUC to the contrary, an entity appointed under that is
And-
also a retail electric provider
and then can be. And do the thing.
can, yeah, we have to change the word to can spend any amounts the entity has available. So that.
So they'd be able to do those things, subject to our approval. That's all we're suggesting.
Yeah. Okay,
Is not the case now? Or is this,
It would be but for this language.
so if we did nothing on this bill,
Right.
what would change?
Nothing.
They still need your approval.
Yeah.
So the question is, if we pass this bill, what changes? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Or if we don't pass it, what changes?
I'm wondering whether we need to pass the bill. It sounds like either way, if we change the language.
Right.
Oh, we'd be fine with getting rid of this whole section. Yeah, of course.
Well, yes,
BED wants it, so I'm
Yes.
suggesting a fix.
Right.
yes,
Uh,
no, BED wants it. That's the genesis of this entire
Yeah.
exercise.
BED wants us to mandate that, to keep that phrase in. If we take that phrase out, is this a benefit to BED?
That they shall.
Sounds like it's not. So, we've reached one of those interesting crossroads we sometimes hit, which setting aside Rep. Southworth's concern about the percentage, which we were waiting.
Yeah, that's out the door now.
I-
I'm more concerned about what I feel is not truthful testimony to us. Because that wasn't brought up in their testimony.
It was not,
Well, I took notes. There were,
yeah, and
the
I'm not,
department did reference several tier 3 related proceedings underway.
Yeah.
But I mean, by the,
I don't think I didn't make the leap, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't make a connection.
All right, well, time for a committee discussion. Woo, we love our committee
thank you
discussions.
very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Craig.
Yeah. Do you want me to stay for this?
Sure.
Certainly can.
Yeah, we have floor at 3:30. The State House Singers are singing the devotional at 3:30, if you care to stay.
Are you a State House singer?
Yes, sir. I used to be an alto, now I'm a tenor. Which just goes to show you, something's going wrong in my life. Okay, so the bill. All right, so we were waiting to hear back about Mike's concern about the 75-60 thing, and I had written testimony coming in. Now we have another concern about whether we want to
Take the PUC out of the loop.
take the PUC out of the loop or take the language out of the bill.
I'm for that.
I mean, there's,
I'm still not clear what the function of the bill is if we take that phrase out.
so let's talk about that while Greg's here. So if we strike the PUC shall authorize, I just want to make sure I'm understanding this. And so it would read, then I think what remains is that BED can go ahead and do this for the next 3 years.
Pending PUC approval.
Pending PUC approval.
Correct.
Right. I mean, it does delineate a number of things that they will be allowed to do. These are things they could have raised during the investigation, of course, but this spells it out. And then we would probably put in safeguards against cross or duplication of offerings of services.
Yeah, all right, so there is some benefit.
I think there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Just to make sure we're not like passing a bill that
Not needed.
is not being.
It does nothing.
Okay, sorry, I'm still. Because no, it takes me a little bit for the legal language. So if we take out PUC shall authorize it, they can do what they're asking to do. But they need to seek PUC approval for it, which
For expenditures.
for the expenditure. So were they going to have to do that anyway, Greg?
Yeah.
So,
They always have this. This is an ongoing approval process.
okay, so I'm back to not understanding why they need to do this.
Without the language?
Yeah, because, without the language, the pilot ends, right? And this,
Right.
right. Without this language. And the reason why BED came to us is that the pilot is ending like in December or something. And they're no longer going to have, if I'm remembering right, you guys stop me. They're no longer going to have the authority or the ability to spend the TEPF money that's coming into their kitty. Right?
The money.
But didn't
The TEPF money.
Alan craft it in such a way that it wasn't extending the time?
Well, I'm sorry. I keep expressing that wrong.
Oh,
Whether I'm saying it wrong or not, my understanding was that unless we do something, they're not going to be able to tap that money.
Right. Ellen is such a day that this doesn't extend that.
right.
The pilot is ending, and maybe we need Ellen to come back in. So she was clear that
Yeah, this does not extend.
I said we're extending the pilot, and she said no, we're not extending the pilot. This is session law. So I think what we're doing is we're taking the idea of the pilot, the thing that BED was being allowed to do, and we're not continuing that pilot on.
That's right.
We're cutting out Efficiency Vermont and Vermont Gas because they don't want to do this anymore. And we're writing session law that basically for the next 3 years temporarily this doesn't go into the green books. This gives BED the legal authority to keep doing what they were doing in the pilot, even though the pilot's ending. So here's a new 3-year thing saying you can keep doing this, but the PUC has to approve it. Okay.
So I don't think they're gonna lose the money. It's more, they get to do it in the future, like geothermal well testing. That
Right.
was one of the big components of the project, of the pilot program that they were doing. And that's on,
Yes.
at the end of section A here. Like not line 9 on page 2. Where it says such as geothermal test well funding. Again, all these things are raised in the investigation. This would say that this is something they could do subject to approval.
So is it true that, the 3-year pilot's ending for everybody,
Yes.
and we are essentially creating a new 3-year program
Yes.
for BED?
Yes.
So if we don't pass this, then they can't continue to do this stuff.
Correct. I'm positive that's right.
And that's important.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And I have a question.
Mhm.
If we do pass this and the PUC's investigation provides different guidance, given the language suggestion that you've made, that guidance would then supersede, or it would come into play. It would not be exempted by this bill or
Preempted.
preempted, excuse me,
Yeah, I get you. Yep,
if we include your language.
that's right.
So we're okay if we include your language.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, my suggestion is to take out.
Yeah,
that,
if we
that's what you
exclude,
mean, right?
yes, if we
Sorry.
include your exclusion.
Yes.
Include, yes.
Exclude.
We strike
I'll
those
see if
4
I
words.
can do a few more of those.
If we take
Okay?
out those 4 words,
Okay, include yours.
so if we take out those 4 words, BED can continue to do this for 3 years unless the PUC rules otherwise in its investigation.
If you include the words,
No.
if you leave it as, or if you include.
I've already-
exclude-
I'm past that.
Exclude
No.
the,
No, I'm just saying, we're gonna take out these words. I
Yes.
think that's clear. We all agree. So I am now moving on.
Okay.
PUC shall authorize, that's done. So we would nonetheless, for those of us who support BED's ability to do this, which I do, I realize that's not everybody agrees, but if we want to help BED do this work, we do still need to pass this because they're not going to be able to if we don't.
right.
And I think there's on the top of page 2, line 1, right after the 2027 to 2029. I think we need to remove the word two and replace it with may. Because once we've included the exclusion, the beginning of that says, notwithstanding any provision of law and order of the Public Utility Commission to the contrary.
Oh, you're right. May
And-
spend.
An entity appointed under that is also a retail electricity provider for the calendar years may spend any amounts the entity has
Yes.
to it, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct. Correct.
Does anyone else have any concern with them not bringing this to light during their testimony to us?
So
Or am I alone?
Who was here from BED?
I don't think it was Darren.
Yeah, that is questionable.
Must have happened the week I was gone.
I guess I'm not
Probably,
concerned.
it was a while.
I hear you
Do that.
on that. I mean, there are a lot of proceedings going on, like, I don't think that, I shouldn't say that. Mr. Faber is probably not gonna answer, I was gonna ask if you wanted to comment on intent, if that was the intent.
I don't think that is
wasn't.
appropriate.
If
I'm gonna
that's-
cut that one off right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't wanna,
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so much going on that we don't know.
yes, it's BED made a straightforward request. This is what we want. And,
It's about their customers, yeah,
right.
so.
So, yeah, I don't think this is some sort of
Keep the
nefarious.
Who are receiving this money.
I mean, I will say as a BED customer, it is somewhat concerning because BED did screw stuff up and lost money and did all this, which is why they were getting audited. And I can understand on one hand, Darren's been in enough hot water. But I guess the question is, are we concerned enough to haul Darren in here and say, hey, how come you didn't mention this?
Well, I'm definitely gonna reach out to him and say, we've had some more testimony and you should give it a listen. Cause he's gonna submit he was already gonna submit written testimony on, Rip Southworth's concern about the percentages. So I'll just ask him to amend it to, address the ongoing PEC or PUC, investigation. And to be clear though, an investigation is like in the real world, investigation implies like you're looking at something,
A wrongdoing.
a wrongdoing.
No,
It's a
not necessarily.
proceeding.
It's
You
a
could-
proceeding.
It could be. You could open an investigation on a consumer complaint, let's say,
Right.
an alleged
Yeah.
wrongdoing, you know what I mean? But sometimes it's just, hey, we need to
We
look
need
at
to
these
look at this.
programs,
Yeah.
It is.
see how they're doing.
This is the PUC process is, its procedure is across the whole program. It's
Right.
not- It's not BED specific.
Right.
Right. My sense is that there's no specific concern that BED did something wrong to say this is a big program and we should, someone had some concern about something. I take it to trigger this.
Yeah,
it's a
and I'm
Yeah.
not sure, it's probably in the, right, open order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But-
it could literally be that this is such a broad investigation into tier 3 generally that,
This is probably not the paramount issue in that investigation. I would imagine.
right. I mean, it could be that just, unintentional
again, we're-
omission or that it didn't seem,
The thing we're concerned about is this duplication between EDUs.
right.
It's really not all this other things that are mentioned in section A there, so.
Yep. And we knew that was, that we did talk about. So,
Investigation to update and improve energy efficient utility and renewable energy standard tier 3 programs.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because you have more efficiency dollars going towards thermal. Plus you've got right, and then you've got the utilities with a tier 3 obligations. So you've got like a world that needs to get sorted out before it gets more complicated.
So it could also be that this is such a broad look at all this stuff that it didn't feel super relevant to make, point it out. I don't know.
Right.
All right. Well, TBD on BED. So that's section 1 of the bill that we could, I only see 2 choices, amend or strike. And then, the energy planning section, I feel like we've talked about. And everybody's good. Is everybody good with the energy planning, the regional municipal energy plan section of the bill?
Yes.
Okay. And then, the, RPCs did suggest one further language change that I forwarded to Ellen and told her just to hang on to it until we heard back till we had testimony tomorrow. I didn't want her to revise the bill 18 times. So anyway, but the RPC sent one final change and they told us it was coming. Let me just find it real quick. It was something we talked about yesterday. Maybe this is what repellent was. Remembering. His. Okay. It is on page. This is just so you guys know what it is, but it's not, I'm not going to revise anything yet. Yeah. It's on the final page. Oh, right. It strikes out language that says, we're 2 years after the issuance of new standards for issuing a determination of energy compliance, whichever comes first. They're recommending striking that, and we talked about this. It was the concern they had that all the plans would have to come in 2030, that all the plans would come at once, the municipal plans, and we all know that would be horrible. That's what that is. And then I guess, TBD. Great. All right. Thanks, everybody. I think we can go off live.